Imagine, a son opens a door to save his father, but that very door becomes the cause of his father's death. This is the story of a fire of revenge that not only burns the enemy, but also reduces the Avenger's humanity to ashes. Today, we will talk about South Korean cinema's most terrifying masterpiece, I Saw the Devil.
The story begins at night on a desolate and lonely road where we see a white car parked. Inside this car sits a girl named Soohyun. Outside, snow is falling heavily and the weather is freezing cold. Soohyun is on the phone talking to her fiancé, Soohyun. Soohyun is a secret agent who is usually very busy with his work. Soohyun tells him that her car has a flat tire and she has called for a tow truck, but because of the heavy snow, it will take them some time to arrive. Soohyun tells her to stay inside the car and not to open the door for anyone. Just then, a yellow school bus arrives and stops there. A man steps out of that bus whose name is Kyung-chol. Kyung-chol looks like a very ordinary man, but in reality, he is an extremely dangerous serial killer, a monster who has absolutely no humanity left inside him. Kyung-chol knocks on Soohyun's car window and says that he will check the tire for her. Soohyun refuses and tells him that she has already called a tow truck. But instead of listening to her, Kyung-chol starts walking around the car, which Soohyun finds very strange and terrifying. Soohyun is still on the phone, and he tries to warn Soohyun not to trust anyone. But right then, Kyung-chol reveals his true nature. He pulls out a heavy hammer and with full force smashes the car window. Soohyun screams, and the phone call cuts off. Kyung-chol knocks her unconscious, drags her into his bus, and takes her away from there. Kyung-chol brings her to his isolated hideout, which looks like an old workshop. When Soohyun regains consciousness, she finds herself tied up. Kyung-chol is preparing his tools, as if he's about to butcher an animal. Soohyun cries and begs him for mercy. She tells him that she is pregnant, that there is a baby inside her, so please do not kill her. But these words have no effect on Kyung-chol. With a cold mind, he says that it doesn't matter to him at all. After this, he brutally kills Soohyun and chops her body into pieces. The next morning, the police find a plastic bag by the riverbank containing Soohyun's severed head. Seeing this scene, the heart of every person present there is shaken. Soohyun's father, who is himself a retired police officer, breaks down completely upon seeing his daughter in this condition. Soohyun also arrives there and stands frozen seeing the state of his future wife. In his eyes, there are no tears, but a fire that is ready to burn everything down.
Soohyun makes a promise to himself and to Soohyun's soul. He says that whoever did this, he will give him a punishment so severe that even death will seem too easy. He vows that he will inflict pain on that beast that is 1,000 times, actually 10,000 times, more painful than death. Soohyun takes a 2-week leave from the police force so he can solve this case in his own way. Soohyun uses his connections and pulls out a list of suspects. He prepares a high-tech device, a small capsule containing a GPS tracker and a microphone. His plan is not to arrest the killer, but to give him pain moment by moment. He starts hunting down the suspects and interrogates them very aggressively. Finally, his suspicion lands on Kyung-chol. Soohyun reaches Kyung-chol's house, but he doesn't find Kyung-chol there. Instead, he meets Kyung-chol's son, who hates his father and had only come to ask for money. While searching the house, Soohyun finds Soohyun's ring and some other evidence that confirms Kyung-chol is indeed the killer. Now, Soohyun sets out on the hunt. On the other side, we see Kyung-chol, who is still busy with his brutality. He's driving the school bus and gives a lift to a girl standing on the road. His intentions start turning bad again, but just then, Soohyun tracks his location. Kyung-chol is about to force himself on the girl when Soohyun arrives there. Kyung-chol is in his hideout, the greenhouse. Soohyun quietly enters. Kyung-chol thinks he's just an ordinary man and tries to attack him, but Soohyun is a trained secret agent. He blocks every strike from Kyung-chol and starts beating him badly. This fight is completely one-sided. Soohyun breaks his hand and beats him until he's half dead. When Kyung-chol falls unconscious, Soohyun does not kill him. Instead, he shoves that special GPS capsule into Kyung-chol's mouth and forces him to swallow it. After this, Soohyun leaves the place. This was his plan: catch and release. He wants Kyung-chol to live in the shadow of fear.
When Kyung-chol wakes up, he is groaning in pain. He doesn't understand how he survived and who that man was who beat him so much. Kyung-chol leaves in anger and stops a taxi. In this taxi, two people are already sitting, a driver and a passenger. These two are also criminals, just like Kyung-chol. On the way, the driver and passenger plan to rob and kill Kyung-chol. The driver says, "We are lucky today." But Kyung-chol, who is already injured and furious, attacks them. A bloody game begins inside the taxi, and Kyung-chol brutally kills both the driver and the passenger. Soohyun, who is listening to everything through the microphone, immediately heads toward the taxi's location. Kyung-chol takes the taxi and reaches a clinic to get his wounds treated. There, he intimidates the doctor and nurse, and after getting treated, he tries to assault the nurse. He forces the nurse to take off her clothes. But before he can do anything, Soohyun arrives there. Soohyun catches Kyung-chol again. This time, he cuts Kyung-chol's Achilles tendon so that he cannot run. He hits Kyung-chol with a fire extinguisher and leaves him half dead once again. Soohyun's goal was clear: to make Kyung-chol feel that he is no longer the hunter, but the prey. Kyung-chol is now unable to understand who this man is and how he finds out where he is every time. He thinks the police are after him, but the police's methods are not like this. He starts going mad with pain and anger. He goes to an old partner's house who is a criminal himself and a cannibal, a man-eater. There, Kyung-chol, along with his friend and his girlfriend, thinks of a plan to kill Soohyun, but Soohyun is listening to their every word. Soohyun arrives there too. This time, Kyung-chol's friend and he both attack Soohyun together, but they cannot stand against Soohyun. Soohyun beats them all badly. He breaks Kyung-chol's hand and warns him that this is just the beginning. But now comes a twist in the story. Even though Kyung-chol is an animal, he is not stupid. He starts suspecting how Soohyun finds him again and again. When he is in the toilet and feels the urge to vomit, he realizes that perhaps there is something inside him. He takes a laxative, a medicine to clean the stomach, and finally, the GPS capsule comes out of his stomach. Kyung-chol sees the capsule and laughs loudly. His laugh is full of victory and the fire of revenge. He understands that this is all Soohyun's doing, and he was listening to everything. Now, Kyung-chol turns from prey back into the hunter. Instead of flushing the capsule in the water, he plays a trick so that Soohyun thinks he is still there. Then he finds out about Soohyun and discovers that Soohyun is actually Joo-yeon's fiancée. Kyung-chol decides that he will give Soohyun the biggest pain by destroying his remaining family. Kyung-chol secretly reaches Joo-yeon's father's, the retired police officer's, house. Joo-yeon's father is alone at home. Kyung-chol attacks him. The old father tries his best to fight, but against Kyung-chol's madness, he falls weak. Kyung-chol injures him badly. After this, he waits for Joo-yeon's sister, Soohyun's sister-in-law. When she comes home, Kyung-chol captures her as well. When Soohyun finds out that Kyung-chol has gone out of his control and the capsule location is showing wrong, he panics. He realizes that Kyung-chol has found the tracker. Just then, Kyung-chol calls Soohyun from Joo-yeon's father's phone. On the phone, Kyung-chol laughs and says, "You underestimated me. You thought you won? Now, listen to what real pain is." Soohyun drives his car like a madman, but he is already too late. Kyung-chol has killed Joo-yeon's father and has made her sister a victim of his lust and anger as well. The turn of the story is very painful. Soohyun, who set out to take revenge, lost his remaining loved ones in the process. Now this fight was not just about revenge, but about the destruction of the soul.
Gyang-chol has already fled from there and is going to surrender to the police. Gyang-chol's plan was that if he went to the police, he would stay in jail but stay alive, and Soohyun wouldn't be able to do anything to him. This was his final move against Soohyun, to use the law to save himself. Soohyun understands that if Gyang-chol gets into the hands of the police, his revenge will remain incomplete. He drives his car at full speed and intercepts Gyang-chol on the road leading to the police station. He picks Gyang-chol up and vanishes from there just seconds before the police arrive. Soohyun takes Gyang-chol to the same workshop where the story began, where Gyang-chol had killed Ju-yeon. Gyang-chol is tied to a chair. Now he wasn't scared. Instead, he was still taunting Soohyun. He says, "Even if you kill me, what will happen? I don't feel pain. I have no regret for what I did. You have lost, Soohyun, because you have become just like me." Soohyun, without saying a word, carries out his torture. But he realizes that physical pain is not enough for a devil like Gyang-chol. He needs to give Gyang-chol a pain that breaks his soul. Soohyun says, "I will kill you when you are trembling with pain and fear. That is the real revenge." Soohyun prepares one final setup. This is a trap like a guillotine, a head-cutting machine. He ties Gyang-chol up and places a heavy, sharp blade above his neck. This blade is connected to a rope, and that rope is tied to the door. The mechanism was such that as soon as someone opens the door from outside, the rope will pull and the blade will fall down, severing Gyang-chol's head from his body. Soohyun stuffs a ball into Gyang-chol's mouth so he cannot speak, only scream. After this, Soohyun leaves the place. On his way out, he calls Gyang-chol's son and his elderly parents and tells them that Gyang-chol is at this location and is in bad condition. Gyang-chol is now alone in a dark room. His eyes are wide with fear. He knows what is about to happen. He is staring at the rope connected to the door. Just then, he hears the sound of a car stopping outside. It is his own parents and his son who have come to find him. Gyang-chol tries to scream, tries to refuse, but because his mouth is gagged, he cannot say anything. He can only make muffled sounds like mm-mm. Outside, his son and parents come to the door. The son calls out, "Papa? Papa, are you inside?" Gyang-chol is drenched in sweat inside. He is praying that the door does not open. But they think Gyang-chol is in trouble. Gyang-chol's son turns the handle. As soon as the son opens the door, the rope pulls. The blade falls down rapidly. In a single stroke, Gyang-chol's head is cut off and rolls straight to the feet of his son and parents. Blood splatters all over the family. Seeing this horrific scene, Gyang-chol's son and parents start screaming. Their screams echo in the deserted area. Gyang-chol got the same death he gave to others, but at the hands of his own family. The camera shifts to Soohyun. He has gone far away from the workshop and is walking along the side of the road. He has his headphones on and he's listening to the screams of Gyang-chol's family because he had planted a mic there too. As soon as he hears those screams, he knows that the job is done. Gyang-chol is dead. But is Soohyun happy? No. He stops in the middle of the road and starts crying. These are not tears of happiness. It's an emptiness. The revenge is complete, but this revenge took everything away from him. His wife, his peace, his humanity. He cries loudly, just like a child, and then continues walking into the darkness. With this painful and terrifying story of I Saw the Devil comes to an end. This movie teaches us that when you go to fight a devil, you must be careful that you do not become a devil yourself. Revenge is not the cure for any pain. Rather, it makes the wound even deeper. If you liked this detailed recap and felt Soohyun's pain, then please like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video with a new story.